What is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys. We have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, and observations from another day in Chicago for Bears training camp. And we have a couple of guys who have really been standing out right before the pads are coming on. So perfect timing to see if they can really, truly develop and turn into the players that we really think they can be and what they've shown so far in camp. Now, I'm going to, go over all of that in this video, break down all the guys who look really good so far. However, before we do that, make sure you guys do me a huge favor and smash that like button so we can get this video out to all the Bears fans around the world. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new, because I will be covering the entirety of the offseason, including the Bears, the rest of the NFL, but free agent signings, trades, training camp, preseason, and regular season. And I'm going to be live streaming games as well. So if you want to watch some Bears games with me throughout the season, make sure you guys join the family. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the number one breakout player on day 5 was rookie cornerback out of, I believe, Miami. Tyrique Stevenson looked amazing. Now, after having a couple of bad days at camp, or I wouldn't say bad days, but maybe just like some welcome to the NFL, plays where, he was lined up against DJ Moore or Chase Claypool or whatnot. He had a couple of, plays where he didn't look great. But this day, day 5 or maybe day 6 it is now, he looked absolutely amazing, coming away with a couple of great, coverages on DJ Moore. He was plastered all over them. He was just great coverage. Looked like a lockdown corner on day 5. A couple of pass breakaways, a couple of just, forcing bad throws. So that was a good thing by Tyrique Stevenson. I think he's a guy who just, has the ability to have blanket coverage on almost every single possession, and if he can just find a sense of consistency, I think this could be one of the next big cornerbacks coming out of the draft. And here for the Chicago Bears, who, when you look at their secondary, you have a bunch of young guys in Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, Tyrique Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker, you got Kindle Vildor, you got Terrell Smith, another rookie cornerback. So I think they're very young, but they're just finally, or just continuing to develop some chemistry and become very good corners in this league, but we still have a lot of time left to progress. Now, another guy who stood out was on the other side of the ball. We mentioned his name a little bit, but Chase Claypool actually had a pretty good practice. We had a couple of really good catches in the 2-minute drill. I believe he had 2 catches in the 2-minute drill, 1 contested, and then he had 1 that he dove along the sideline, making a crazy catch. So that was a good one as well. I think Chase Claypool is a guy who is pretty much cemented into the wide receiver 3 role at this point of the offseason. But we'll see if he can continue to get better, because you have DJ Moore, who looks to... He has probably one of the best connections with Justin Fields right now. But you also have Darnell Mooney, who, they're trying to slowly implement him into the offense again, just because they don't want to re-injure him. So they're starting to, reacclimate him to the team. So he's going to be a little bit slower to get fully back to where he needs to be. Then you also got DeMarcus Walker. I think he just signed here this offseason from the Tennessee Titans. We haven't had the pads on yet, so, really looking at a defensive lineman doesn't really say too much with no pads on, but he is a guy that looks really good. He looks fun. He looks explosive, and someone that they hope could be, a force to be reckoned with in terms of getting to the quarterback. And there was one play he had against the rookie lineman Darrell Wright where it was a likely sack, but they can't touch the quarterback, obviously. So not really too sure if it would have been a sack or if it wouldn't have been a sack or whatnot. Now, overall, the last guy, or one of the last guys I want to bring up is Justin Fields. Man, just looks good. Looks extremely aware. His IQ is better. His accuracy looks better. He just looks like a better quarterback, and obviously that's to be expected going into a whole new season, a whole new offseason. It's to be expected, but Justin Fields is coming off a pretty good season last year, and if adding DJ Moore is only going to help, and Robert Tonyan looks like someone he's targeting a lot. So I'm excited to see where these guys are going, man, and how they're going to play. I think Justin Fields was 8 of 10 on 7-on-7s, which is extremely good. A great day for him, and he's starting to really, make a name for himself as being one of the best quarterbacks, in the NFL potentially in the next few years. So we'll see how he continues to do. Then we also saw Braylon Trahan. I believe his name is a cornerback who, might not make the team. He's an undrafted free agent this season, or he might be a safety, but I think he's kind of a mix of both. But he's been having a couple of good days. I think he had 2 interceptions, one versus Tyler Scott on one-on-ones, I believe, and then he had another one on a team drill. So far, Braylon Tron is a guy who could be a dark horse to make the roster. Now, let me know what you guys think. We have a lot of things coming up here in the next couple of days. We got the start of the Hall of Fame game preseason, so those are going to be exciting. I don't think the Bears play until next week, so that's when things are really going to get exciting. I'm probably going to stream some Bears games going forward. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. Oh, I wrote down a few names to mention here. Tyler Scott looked pretty good. This is just like some notable mentions. Dante Foreman looked pretty good as well. And Khalil Herbert is, I think he's going to get a lot of work this season because he looks amazing. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Check out Underdog Fantasy in this next segment. And if you guys want to play some, daily fantasy football with me throughout the season, make sure you guys go check out Underdog Fantasy. Use my code in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.